Guys, it's Mia Redrick here, the mom strategist. Now, you are going to love the scope tonight. Mr. Felix Anderson, you're going to love the scope tonight. Welcome to the scope. I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist, and I support my clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. Good to see you, Hillary. Good to see you guys. I am so excited about the scope tonight. I'm going to be bringing my A game. You guys know I never come on this late. And so I've got this message that I want to deliver, and I am so excited. My only goal, Dr. Nikki Lee, is to create a shift, right? To get you to think a little bit differently, and maybe tomorrow you'll do something based on what you heard tonight. Now, I do want to warn you guys tonight. Hey there, yeah, it's late, right? I want to warn you guys tonight that this is going to be a tough scope, all right? So it's going to be a tough scope. So if your feelings get hurt easily, this is not the scope to watch tonight, all right? It is going to go inside of my scope school, and as you guys know, I do mindset, business, and life scopes where I share with my clients many different ways they can coach themselves inside of my scope school. There are over 480 scopes, many that pertain to business, all right, how to move your business forward, many that pertain to mindset, all right, because I believe when you're thinking right, everything else is better, and then also life scopes, all right, creating that shift in your life to be able to ask for more, make bold requests of yourselves. For those of you I'm just meeting, it's nice to virtually meet you. Please share, guys, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Periscope. Hey there, Shawanda. Good to see you. I'm going to be sharing tonight, very simply, a real simple scope is how to have the courage to step up, all right? Shawanda, I'm going to be bringing my A game, how to have the courage to step up. For those of you who are just meeting me, let me just tell you a little bit about me. I got started my business 13 years ago. I made the decision to simply go to work as myself. I wanted to combine my background as a corporate trainer and my love of motherhood into a business, and I had no idea how to do that. And so I started looking for someone that could help me. I went to a small business resource center in my town, and I was told that this idea of like mom coaching, which is what I do, that no one would ever pay me to coach moms, to use my gift as a corporate trainer, which means I know how to take anything that you're doing, your background, your gifts, your talent, and package that into product that you can sell to corporations or to individuals as a consultant or as a coach, right, in many different ways. And I've supported hundreds of clients in doing exactly that. But I was told that this would not work, that nobody would pay me to do that. I'm so glad I kept looking for someone that could help me. I ended up bumping into a coach. I saw her online. Her name was Terry Levine, and I never thought of working with a coach, quite frankly. And I started working with her, and I loved her models. Her models, she was the first full-time entrepreneur I ever met that literally would take her laptop and go to another country and work during November, December, and January, and February when it was cold. And I was like, I want to build a business that allows me to be free too. So fast forward, as a result of my business, I work about 31 hours a week servicing my clients with a multiple six-figure income in my business, very strong income, I might say. And I do it all via time-rich models. Some I coach my clients in group coaching programs. Others I sell self-study courses to people every single day, even as I sleep. And I show my clients how to passively leverage what they know to be able to build their business and build their brand. As a result of me doing what I absolutely love to do, what I believe is using my gifts, I've had the opportunity to be signed as paid talent on an Emmy-nominated, nationally syndicated show, America Now. I was the mom strategist on that show. I shot about 40-some segments on that show. That was really awesome. But in addition to that, I've done a lot of other national television segments as well. I've had the opportunity to write several books, all of which have been #1 Amazon bestsellers. I've had the opportunity equally to package my know-how and sell it to corporations. And I've done several corporate partnerships with Fortune 100 and 500 brands. Why am I telling you this? Not to impress you at all. I'm telling you this because your ideas are really valuable. And sometimes we take those things for granted, or maybe you're coming on Periscope all the time and everybody's telling you you can make six figures because you can, but not everyone has the background to back it up. And I will tell you, everything that I teach my clients, I teach it to them because it's what I've done to be able to build my brand from scratch, and I love being a mom. I love being a wife, and I love being an entrepreneur that owns her time. And as a result of my husband and I being entrepreneurs, I own a commercial laundry as well. My kids are 12, 15, and 19, almost 19 years old, and in 3 weeks, and they've never seen their mom or dad work a job. And I think that's a tremendous accomplishment. So I know that a lot of you guys want to get free, you want to stay free. Well, we've been free for over 2 decades as entrepreneurs, and my kids have never seen us work a job. And so to me, I always like to tell you that because it's the flat truth. And, maybe you want to be an entrepreneur because you want to provide your kids a world-class education. We've done that. We've invested over $715,000, checks written, educating our children, right? Like educating the kids in elementary, middle, and high school. That's the benefit of being a great entrepreneur. And lastly, I will tell you that for me, I love being an entrepreneur because when my husband developed kidney disease, over 8 years ago, I was able to be where I needed to be. Why? Because I'd already built an amazing business that was time rich and I could be there for him. And to me, what greater reason to build a business than when you need it, it's there for you if the models are right and the income is right. You don't ever have to compromise anything. And I am so grateful that we built the kind of businesses that we have. And that's why I come on this platform and share, because I think if there's one person out there that maybe you hear my story and you're like, that's what I want, or you're dealing with some extenuating circumstance and maybe at work, or maybe you just want to know it's possible. I'm telling you that it's flat possible. As a result of being an entrepreneur, we hired a private physician for my husband, and I believe that's why he did amazingly well 3 years ago when he got his kidney transplant. So, listen, being an entrepreneur, I believe it's great to be able to make money, but more importantly, it's what you're able to do for your family and having great relationships. And to me, that's what means the most to me, is being able to spend time with the people that matter the most to me. Thank you guys so much for sharing on Twitter, on Facebook, on Periscope. I'm going to be bringing my A game today, all right? And I hope you are ready, because I am ready, all right? And today's scope, if you guys are ready, right? Right, yeah. Today's, right? Yeah, it is. It's nothing else is more important than family, right? So today I'm going to be teaching on having the courage to step up. Now, I do have to disclaim, if you're new to my scopes, that it's going to be what we call a tough scope tonight. All right. So sometimes in the mornings I come on and I do inspirational and motivational scopes. And then in the evenings, I like to come back and I like to do teaching scopes that relate to business or a mindset scope. So if your feelings get hurt easy, let me fan you, and you might want to come back to a different scope, because this is going to be a tough scope today. My only goal is to support you in making that shift, and that maybe there's something that I'm going to say to you today that you realize that story you keep telling yourself is ridiculous, all right? And that is the thing that's got you stuck. Hey, Natasha, what are you doing up, okay? All right, no, not trying to hurt, trying to totally help you guys. I hope you're ready. If you're ready, then I just want you to say simply, I'm ready, Mia, all right? If you're ready, say, I'm ready, Mia, all right? And then I'm going to get started today having the courage to step up. Who has the courage to step up, all right? Who has the courage? All right, we've got Angel's in the house. Good to see you, Angel. All right, Shawanda is ready. All right, the social media diva. I love that, right? All right, I'm ready. You're a client, Yaya. You know what? I just have to say, you're working with Yaya. That is the right thing. I'm ready, me. All right, well, a lot of people are ready. You're ready to rock and roll, Hillary. Let's do this, all right? So I wanted to do a scope simply about having the courage to step up, because, in what I do, I've coached literally thousands of clients internationally, and sometimes people step up and sometimes people step down, all right? And the fact of the matter is that a lot of times we don't realize that we don't exhibit the courage to step up and into the things that we want, and yet we have this wish list, these things that we are wishing for, these things that we're hoping for, called our dreams, called our goals. You guys know what I'm talking about, and maybe I'm talking to you. So I'm going to break down for you over the next couple of minutes 8 or 9 different things that I know are super important, that you need to have the courage to step up to, all right? And the first thing is that, all right, and if you're an entrepreneur, let me fan you, all right? But this is real. This is flat real, all right? You're in business. You're in business to generate profit in your business. And then the first thing that you need to have the courage to step up to is to sell your value and not just your time. I'm going to break this down for you, all right? To sell your value, your full value, and not just your time. And one of the biggest mistakes, where are the hearts? And I'm telling you, I'm calling you out. here's the thing. One of the biggest mistakes that so many entrepreneurs make when they go to price their services, they can't figure out, like, you've got this great thing that you've got going on, this great product, this great idea of whatever it is. Every time you service your customers, the reviews are amazing. And what you get, right, what you get all the time are people saying how awesome you are. That's all you get. All right. And part of the issue is that whenever it's time for you to sell your value, all right, you sell your time. I want you to hear me. When it's time for you to honor your gifts, the transformation you're providing for the client, you're a little cloudy on that piece, right? And as a result of that, you won't put the extra zero behind the thing that you're doing. You guys know I'm telling you the truth. And this is why that even though you've serviced so many people already, you're still selling your services and your prices, right, for $100, right? You can't believe I said that first. You just told your husband that tonight. Hillary, we're in sync, right? The fact of the matter is you've been selling your services so low. All right, your prices are too low and they don't fully value what you bring to the table. And because of it, you're not able to work with the kind of people that you need to work with. And you're struggling constantly in your business, not because you have to, because you've chosen to. Why? Because you don't have the courage to step up. And I'm telling you the truth. You don't have the courage to go in front of those people that are your ideal clients, the people that you really need to work with, the people who are in a position to pay you, and say, this is my price. You don't have the courage to put it on your website, to write it down, to put it in your proposals, or to decide, I am not going to talk to you if you do not want to pay me. All right. And I want to break this down because it is a courage. It's a conversation around courage. And that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. And if this is you, my only goal is to support you in making that shift. The reason you're not where you want to be in terms of profitability in your business, the reason you continue to struggle within your business isn't because of your talent. It has nothing to do with that. And it is not because of your product. I'm telling you, it is not. It is because you will not charge your worth, your value. You will not do that. And you're doing that to yourself, all right? And you need to have the courage to step up, all right? Number two, if you're just joining me, please share on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Periscope. I'm going to bring in my A game tonight. I'm sharing simply, you need to have the courage to step up, all right? And this is for those of you who you're like right there, right? You're right there, right? And what did you say? When you provide true value, you don't have to convince people of it. Anyone that truly values what you bring to the table is not going to need to be convinced to begin with. When I meet people who are non-investors, they're quick to hop on the phone with you. They're short people to invest. What you got to understand is what you bring to the table. You get to decide whether or not you go to that next step or you get on the phone with people who are not in a position to speak with you to begin with. Come on now, fully value who you are and what you bring to the table. Have the courage to step up and create a layer for yourself to protect yourself, so your time, your energy, and your talent. Go and work with the people you're supposed to work with and stop being afraid, feeling like they're not my people. I'm afraid they might not think I'm good enough. They do. All right. Number two. All right. Challenge yourself to lean into where you want to be. This is a tough one. Instead of quitting where you don't want to be. All right. I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to repeat this again. All right. You need to have the courage to challenge yourself to lean into where you want to be. All right. Yeah. Lean into where you want to be. And instead of quitting, you know what I mean? And staying where you don't want to be. And you don't need to be. And you guys, I'm getting ready to go in on this because I hear this all the time. I meet people who make commitments, right? They make commitments for themselves, and they make commitments for the right reasons. They may make a commitment to coach with me, or they may make a commitment to work with you. And then somewhere fear just jumps in their mind, or the old way of doing things, right? You know what I mean? It jumps in their mind, right? And as a result of that, they play small. or smaller. They contract. And if this is you, I want you to hear me on this. All right. I want you to challenge yourself, right, to lean into where you want to be. And you got to understand that it takes courage to lean into the place where you want to be. All right. To play with the people where you want to play, to learn from the people that you want to learn from, to make investments that are uncomfortable. You got to lean into that. And it takes courage to do it. No, it's not going to be comfortable. No, it's not going to seem logical to you. Why? Because it's a whole new world. But I can tell you this, where you are right now, where you're stuck right now, when you look at your numbers in your business and you've looked at your numbers for the last year and nothing's really changed, that's what you need to quit. All right. And so many people quit the thing that is really the answer to what they need, and they they commit to the thing that they need to quit. I hope somebody hears me. Are you guys hearing me out here? And the fact of the matter is, if this is you, I want you to get this. I want you to have the courage to step up and lean into, reach into, go for, seek, run toward the thing that will flat change your life. All right. When I think about it, I tell you, when I think about my life and I think about the choices that I have made, none of them have made sense. When I hired a coach, I didn't even know what question I was going to ask her on the first coaching call. I had no idea, but I knew that I did not have the answer. And I knew that she had answers that I needed to know. And I knew that if I could learn what she knew, I could do what she did. And so many of you out here, you're struggling in your businesses, or you're not growing as fast as you could, and you're not free, not because it's not available to you. It's just because you keep quitting and staying where you don't want to be, instead of leaning into and having the courage to press in and toward the thing that will really support your growth. Are you hearing me? If you're hearing me, say, I hear you, Mia. All right. I want to break this down. And, I was thinking about this today when I was writing this down, and I was like, it's just the craziest thing. It's like people are not where they want to be. Maybe Dr. Nikki, you're seeing too many patients every day. And you're like, you know what? This is crazy. I don't even get to see my family. Quality of life escapes me. I'm not where I want to be. You know what? Lean into the thing that you want, which is called time-rich models, which is called freedom, which is called, consulting, leveraging what you know, packaging your gifts, serving the world with those. And no, it's not going to come with instruction manuals. No, it's not going to be easy, but it's a lot easier to go for the thing that you want and lean into that than to quit the thing that you really know will serve and support you and do the thing that you don't want to do for the rest of your life. And I will tell you, I get to talk to so many people every single day who have quit on themselves, and they just get back to it 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years later. And all they're thinking is, you know what? They didn't lean in. And now they learned it was not the answer. So for those of you who are hearing this message, I hope that you will have the courage to step up for yourself and understand that when you're making a big investment in yourself, no, it is going to be crazy scary. Trust me on that. All right. I just invested $100,000 for a coach this year. And the fact of the matter, I was like, woo, that's a lot, right? That's a lot. That's a huge commitment. But what it does is it makes me have skin in my own game in completely different ways. What it does is it makes me have to have, transparency around my process. What it does, it makes me committed to my dream in a bigger way. And so many of you invest at a level that you can walk away from, and that's why you're not getting the results, because $200, you can walk away from that. Doesn't matter. I'm telling you the truth. You need to have the courage to step up, and you need to stop having a calculator associated with your dream. And I'm just breaking it down. My dream is priceless. There's nothing I wouldn't invest for freedom. There's not a price on me not being able to be there for my kids to see what I want to see. I'm willing to do whatever I need to do. And you know what? I have the courage to do that. I lean into it. I get up in the morning. I do what I need to do. There's not a month. I'm not saying in 3 months if my business doesn't do this, then I'm quitting. I'm leaning in. I'm all in. That's it. That's the only option. There is no back door. And so many people quit. They quit. and they quit to go do the thing that they never wanted to do to begin with, all right? The thing that made them from the very beginning say, I need something else, they quit and they end up right back there, all right? And maybe that's you, or maybe you need to hear that. Today, what I'm sharing is having the courage to step up. Number 3, all right, is have the courage to surrender to the process without your need to know everything. And this is for those of you who are my control freaks, okay? Those of you who are like, you want that next level for yourself, but you need to map it all out. Like, it needs to be perfectly clear for you to move forward. Not true. All right. That's a limiting belief. I'm going to tell you that you are not going to know what you need to do in order for you to go to your next level, right? Okay. Yeah. No, you got to surrender to the process. You know what? You got to let it go. You are not going to know what's on the other side until you start moving on the other side. Thank you so much for sharing on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Periscope. I appreciate it. It is so true. And the fact of the matter is that it takes courage to step up, right? And surrender. It takes courage to say, look, I know I'm not going to know everything about this. I'm just going to pick up the phone. I'm going to call. I'm going to pitch these people. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but I know I need to be playing in this direction with this demographic. I know I need to be serving the world with my gifts right here. This is my sweet spot. I don't know what they're going to say to me, but I do know that I'm going to have the courage to show up for me. And nope, I don't need to know if they're going to pick up the phone. I don't need to know if they're going to say yes or not. What I need to do is make sure the actions that I take are strategically placed in front of the people that can say yes to me. All right. And I think that it takes courage to do that. So many people don't surrender to the process. They literally They talk themselves out of it. They've got to get all of these things lined up. You got to get your proposal just right. You got to get your stationery just right. You got to get your pitch just right. You got to get the book just right. You got to write the book. Oh, just right. I mean, you got to do all of these things. And what you got to understand is that while you're doing all of these things, there's someone out there that surrendered to the process and they're just all in, and they don't have everything, but they have everything because they have the confidence and this ability in themselves to share. They have the courage to be out there, and they're swinging for the fence. And as a result of that, they're going to see greater results because they're out there in the game. I'm telling you, nothing happens behind that desk and just typing. You got to get out there and connect to people and share your bigness with the world. And that is the only thing that I know works. Anything other than that is just flat not true. Whether we're talking about your clients or whether we're talking about, that's right, promote yourself as you are doing, right? Or as any of us are doing, right? That's the reality of what it is. You got to get out there and you got to share yourself with the world. That's what it takes, Tang, all right? Number four, all right? You don't just plan it. You got to do it, all right? You got to have the courage. It takes courage to do that, all right? It takes courage to do it, all right? Of course you're going to be afraid. You are. Every single person that does it is. But there are no guarantees, all right? Today I'm talking about having the courage to step up. And if you haven't shared yet on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Periscope, please do. It's a powerful message tonight. It's going to go inside of my Scope School. It's a school that I sell for $147 a month, where I have mindset, life, and business scopes, where I teach clients, all right? Today, what I shared very simply is number one, sell your value and not your time. And when you're only selling your time, your hours, you're minimizing the transformation you're providing your clients. The fact of the matter is there are people that I work with that as a result of me supporting them and working with them, sure, many of them make a lot of money. But the fact of the matter is what actually happens is they get to grow into a person that can make a bold request of themselves. I sell my value. The value is, the fact of the matter is, as a result of working with me, you're going to know your worth. All right. You're going to be able to talk to some people that you've never been able to talk to before. You're going to be able to go some places and believe in yourself because you're going to have an understanding of what you bring to the table. That is priceless. And for that, I have to be properly compensated for that. Number two, and you do too. Number two, all right, is challenge yourself to lean into where you want to be instead of quitting at the place where you don't want to be. See, a lot of people quit and they stay where they don't want to be because they're not willing to lean into where they need to be, right? And for you, that might be your coaching. It might be your mentorship. It might be a class you need to take. It might be something you need to stick to in order for you to get that goal done. And when it gets hard, you guys know I'm telling you the truth. When it gets hard, you don't lean in. You start falling back. But I'm telling you that the magic is literally in leaning toward where you want to be. That's where all the answers is. And in the back, the reason that you took the class to begin with, the reason that you signed up for that coaching program to begin with was because you wanted something on the other side that quitting wouldn't offer you to begin with. And you got to understand that about yourself, that sometimes when you get afraid, we flee. You know what I mean? We flee, right? You got to go through the rough stuff, right? That's just the reality of what it looks like, social media diva. Number 3. All right. You got to surrender to the process without a need to know everything. Come on now. Listen, all the B's don't need to be counted. All the I's don't need to be dotted. All the T's don't need to be crossed in order for you to move in the direction of where you need to go. And for those of you out here who are treating your dream like that, and you're not doing the things that you need to do, right? And you're not moving in the direction that you need to move because you've told yourself that you need to have all of these things in order so that you don't have to go forward. It's just not true. You've got to surrender to the process to get to where you want to. And to do that, it takes courage to step up and surrender in that way. And you're going to have to do that to get to where you want to be. Number 4. Let me fan you. All right. Let me fan you. Number 4. All right. It's something that I've been teaching you guys inside of Scope School. And the fact of the matter is you got to sell your big rock. Yeah, I said it. You got to sell your big rock. And this is for those of you who've been listening to me over and over again. I've been teaching you guys on many of these different scopes about your big rocks, right? And you've got to sell the big rock. You've got to sell the premium product. This is for you, those of you out here who find it so tremendously easy to sell that $20 thing, that $100 thing, that $500 thing. But if I asked you to sell that $5,000 thing, that $10,000 thing, you know it, that $15,000 thing or more, you struggle, you shudder. It takes courage to step up and sell your big rock. And it's just a flat truth. Here's the thing. If you want to change where you are in your family right now, financially, you have got to sell your big rock. And if that is not your focus, you're going to be struggling. You're going to be in the same place this time next year. Why? Because you can get to, let's say $100,000, right? That's a goal a lot of people have. Selling something for $20, all right? Right? You sell things for $20. You need a lot of people, right, to say yes to you. You guys need to understand your value and your worth. You need to be selling your big rock, and it takes courage to sell your big rock, all right? But I'm telling you that is what will flat change your life. And I believe that for most entrepreneurs, that if you get to $225,000, it will make a substantial difference for you in your business. And for most of you, if you had 45 clients that said yes to you, even if you were selling something for $5,000, that's not a lot of clients. You're at $215,000 or $225,000. For most of you, that can make a difference. All right. But you're trying to get to where you want to be and not be courageous and sell the things that you have for $20, because see, that doesn't take courage for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? There's no courage in selling something for $97 or $147. You know, I'm calling you out. $247, $497 doesn't take courage. It takes courage to stand behind your value and sell your big rock, to sell the transformation. And a lot of you guys, you haven't been having those crucial and critical conversations over and over again with people who can say yes to something big. You haven't been doing that. You know I'm calling you out, and I just want to take a minute to say it takes courage to do that. Sure, you're going to be afraid, but you deserve it. And all of your training, all of your education, all of your experience for this moment, these are the things that fully value what you offer. You know, I'm always surprised when I talk to clients and they tell me that, you know, they're selling something for a client for clients, and they can easily belt off a $500 product or $997, product. Oh, wow. Okay. But the fact of the matter is they forget to fully honor, all of their gifts and bring the whole package to the table for the client and give the client what they truly need, because in essence, you're being selfish, right? Because what is selfish is when you make the offer about you, about your fears, about your insecurities, about what you think somebody's going to say to you, right? When you start thinking about that, you're not thinking about the client. I hope somebody hears me on this. You need to sell your big rocks. And to do that, it takes courage to sell your big ticket items, your premium products, no matter what they are. It takes courage, but you deserve it. All right. And people will pay you that. All right. The way you said it, if I value me, I'll sell your big rocks. Absolutely. Tang. Absolutely. Tang Diva. Absolutely. All right. All right. So number 5. Oh my goodness. This is good too. All right. Number 5 is it takes courage. It takes courage to step up and to invest at a high level, right? And to work only with the best. And this is a flat truth. It takes courage to do that. Now, I mentioned this earlier in my scope that, this year I've hired a bunch of coaches this year. Well, last year for this year. And one of my coaches, I'm paying 6 figures to. Another coach, I'm paying $12,000 a quarter. So that's what? That's $48,000 a quarter, right? And then I've got 2 other smaller investments and coach $10,000 each or something like that. Listen, first of all, none of them have given me any guarantees, all right? I want you guys to hear me. Nobody's giving me any guarantees. I don't even need any guarantees for me to invest in myself. I invest in myself because it takes courage to do that. Because I know I'm going to do what I need to do to move forward in my life and in my business, all right? And it takes courage. And a lot of people, I want you to hear me on this, a lot of people don't make investments in themselves, particularly in coaching and consulting, because they don't believe that they are going to do what they need to do to fully value that investment. You guys know I'm telling you the truth. It's just flat true, all right? You got to invest at a high level. When you invest at a high level, what it is a commitment to yourself. It's like you're in partnership with yourself to say that, you know what, I am going to do what I need to do to move forward. And I'm not in a place where I'm hesitating at all. My business is my number one asset, right? My mind, you know what I mean, is my number one asset. I'm willing to do what I need to do to grow those things, because I know that when I do that I can change my entire life. Every time I think about for myself every time I think about it, I think about the fact that I hired this coach, right, who taught me about outsourcing. Now, she was teaching me about how to hire like VAs and things like that for $3 an hour. And I remember that I had gone years. Nobody ever taught me anything about this. So as a result of me investing in her, I was able to save a significant amount of money, hiring VAs for, to do all kinds of things, like, all around the world, doing all kinds of things for me for a fraction of the cost. But it wasn't only that. I also learned how to make money in my book coaching business by hiring a team of ghostwriters to support me in my book coaching business. So I charge $25,000 to $35,000 roughly to write a book for a client, all right, with my ghostwriting team. I also run training programs for them, $25,000 to $50,000 doing this, of which I outsource. I always think about it. Like, what if I didn't invest with that coach? Because that's where I learned that. Like 9 years ago, I made an investment, okay, with this coach who then taught me about outsourcing. And as a result of that, she didn't teach me about turning it into a book coaching business, but I took and made it my own. A lot of you guys, you could do so well if you invested well. If you invested at a high level, what happens is the information that comes back to you gives you other options of how you can use it. The thing is that the secret to making money is that it really isn't a secret, but you have to invest in order for you to create the return that you want. And so many people mix this up. And this is why, when you are not that person that's willing to honor and commit at a high level for the information that you want, you don't get that information. You're that person that says, I never heard that. I didn't know that. Well, no, because you didn't choose to invest to learn that. And that's what you got to understand, is that if you're not choosing to invest to learn that, that's why you don't know that. All right? It has nothing to do with intellect. Most of the things that I know how to do, or the ways that I know how to make money, anybody could do what I do. The fact of the matter is, the reason that people don't do it is because they're not willing to make an investment to learn what I know. All right? I was willing to make an investment. And I will tell you this to be true. The hearts went away. But I want to tell you, this is where you need to step up. All right. And this is for those of you who are my investors who invest in their dream and it's always on sale, or it's always $2.99, or it's always with $97, or you invest in personality, somebody that makes you feel good, but you're not investing in the solution that you need. I'm calling you out, because the fact of the matter is, it takes courage to step up. And no, there are no guarantees. No coaching program's ever going to come with guarantees. That's why you need to invest at a higher level based on the solution that you want. And you need to understand that you got to put skin in the game. You got to be willing to do the work. All right. You got to be willing to do the work. All right. Flat true. All right. I hope this is supporting you guys. Number six. All right. Number 6, for those of you who are just joining me, I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support my clients with both life and business success. You can always connect with me at miaredrick.com or on Facebook, Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, Mia Redrick, the mom strategist. All right, you need to have the courage to step up. That's what I'm talking about today. I'm on number 6. If you haven't shared yet on Twitter, on Facebook, on Periscope, come on, you can. And if you are watching the replay, please heart it up. I think I'm pretty close to 4 million hearts. Come on, guys. Don't be stingy with the hearts, all right? Number 6, all right? Number 6, it takes courage to step up and ask what you want from your relationships. It does. It takes courage. Now, it's easy to go with the flow and let people treat you anyway, or say anything to you, or do anything to you, but that's whether it's your coworker, whether it's your husband, whether it's your best friends. But it takes courage to take a stand for how you want to be treated, right? And to ask for those things. And it's one of those things that I see people compromise all the time. I'll give you a great example. I was away over the weekend on a fun trip visiting my girlfriend, right? So the fact of the matter is, I went to visit her, and I went to lunch on Sunday by myself. So I'm having lunch on Sunday. It was lunch Sunday by myself. And there was this woman at a table with a guy. And the guy she's at the table with, he literally has his head down on the table like this, and while she's eating. The entire time they're at dinner or at lunch, he's got his head down like this, all right? And she's eating her food. And then when he's finished eating, he gets up and he leaves her, all right? And this is what I'm talking about, all right? It takes courage to decide what you're worth, what you will tolerate, what you will put up with, and what you will not, all right? And the fact of the matter is that she had not made a decision in that moment to ask for what she wants of her relationships. Either she lacks clarity, or she lacks the esteem. What about you, all right? Or she lacks the courage, right? Because it takes courage to say, you can't treat me like that. Yeah, you can't treat me like that, all right? It takes courage to take a stand for the things that you will no longer tolerate. It takes courage to do that. It takes courage to set boundaries. All right. Yeah. It takes courage to set boundaries and say, not today. You may not go over there, or I'm not going that way. It takes courage to say, I'm sorry, you didn't get the door. I'll just keep walking. All right. And what you got to understand is that small things become big things. Small things become big things. And I don't care who you're dealing with, whether you're talking about with your children, or whether we're talking about with your partner, or whether you're talking about with your best friends or your coworkers. People don't typically just start off on number 10, right? Being disrespectful. There are people out there who do have their issues, but most often they take their clues from us. And I want to call you out if this is you. And I want to tell you that it takes courage to step up, to stand up for yourself and say, not today. like no more. Like I don't speak that language. Right now, from this moment forward, this is what I deserve. And if this is not included here, then I need to move on. And I just want to say that to those of you who are accepting things that don't fit, all right? You know if it doesn't fit, you don't need anyone to call it out. You know in your gut when you're interacting with someone that's treating you disrespectfully with some level of disregard and that lacks care. You understand when that happens. And it takes courage for you to move on. I love all of that, like all the luggage, like, like get the bags, like get your Louis Vuitton out, like really, okay? And let me just tell you that, you need to get some luggage that has some smooth rollers, right? Because now you don't have to struggle. That bag doesn't have to be pulled. You can just glide, all right? But it takes courage. It takes courage to say, I will not stand for this any longer because I deserve more. And when you do that, you make room, all right? I just want to call it out for what it is, all right? And number 7. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is good too. Number 7 is that it takes courage to step up and not make price your decision maker. Okay. You know what I'm sorry. I didn't mean to smack you. I'm just telling you that it takes courage to not make price your decision maker. To not make price. Your decision maker. All right. To not make the price your decision maker. All right. And this is for those of you, you know what I'm talking about. You can't say yes to something that you really want without looking at the back. You gotta check the price tag, right? That was a smack, right? You gotta fold it back. Let me tell you something. All right. When you are making a powerful choice for yourself, all right, that don't make price your decision maker. All right. Yeah. Don't make price your decision maker. When you do that, one of the things that you're doing in essence is you're devaluing who you are. Like choose from a powerful place. It doesn't mean that you don't put something on your list that, if you have to budget for it. But most often, sometimes the things that are really true investments for ourselves, they almost always are a stretch for us. Right. And that, though some things just cannot be bargained, right? My husband taught me to stop that. I used to be terrible about gas prices. Yeah, absolutely, right? And then there are people that drive miles, right? Looking to save, for gas, and they already spent the money driving around trying to find the lowest gas in town when they could have just gone down the street. They forgot about their time. They forgot about what their time was worth as a result, right? Just to save 10 cents, right? And the fact of the matter, or $10, and the fact of the matter, it's just not worth it, all right? So never make price your decision maker. All right. Choose what you want. I tell this to my kids all the time. Like even when my son was looking at colleges, some of you guys might know the story. My son is going to college in the fall. We were looking at a bunch of colleges back in this past fall. And I remember saying to him, he was telling me about some colleges. And you know how the advice they give kids is, choose your reach school and choose where you really want to be and choose your safety schools. And I said, let me tell you something. Don't you ever choose or put anything on your list that you do not want, because you just might get it. All right. And the same is true for you. The fact of the matter is, if you're choosing powerfully for yourself, choose what you want. Only put things in front of you that you want. Therefore, if you get any of those things, you're going to be happy. The reason so many people are disgruntled, not happy with where they are right now, is because they put things on that list that was not a powerful choice to begin with. They were not things that they wanted. It might be your mate. It might be your job. It might be your house. You know what I mean? It might be a coaching program, a relationship. I don't know what it is. But people make price their decision maker. And that is the wrong way to choose what is right for you. Choose what is right for you based on the variables of whatever it is and the change and the impact that it's going to have, the transformation that's going to happen as a result of the investment. I'm just telling you what it is. I've always made a decision to do that, and somehow, boom, right, be happy with quality. You got to be. And when you're choosing by looking, thinking you have $2 and you're trying to choose making a $2 investment, it is just not the powerful, you know what I mean? It's just not a powerful place to be. All right. It's just not a powerful place to be. All right. All right. Number 8. All right. Are you guys getting value? I hope so. I hope so. And if you haven't shared on Twitter, on Facebook, on Periscope, please do. All right. Today, what I'm talking about is having the courage to step up. Thank you. Having the courage to step up. And, what I've covered already, Yaya, is number 1, sell your value, not your time. All right. Number 2 is challenge yourself to choose and lean into where you want to be instead of falling back and quitting in the place that you don't want to be. And you didn't want to be there anyway. All right. Number 3. Surrender to the process without a need to know everything. All right. Surrender to the process without a need to know everything. Number 4 is selling your big rocks. Yep. That's right. Yep. That's right. Sell your big rocks. All right. Have the courage to step up and sell your premium programs. You are worth it. Number 5, invest at a high level and work only with the best because you are the best. And you have to insist on that for yourself. All right. Number 6 is ask what you want whatever it is that you want from your relationships. Ask for that. Have the courage to ask for what you want, what you deserve, what you desire of your relationships. It's going to require you to be vulnerable. It's going to take some courage to do that. But do not accept and tolerate the things that do not serve your highest good. I'm telling you. All right. Number 7, do not make price your decision maker. Like, divorce that. Like, leave that alone. So many people, whatever they're choosing for themselves, they can't even stay in a nice hotel because they've got to search wherever it is that they want to go, and they're not choosing anything that's not. Everything's based on like a budget, a sale, something you didn't want to begin with. Come on. And if that's not a powerful choice. There's no way to be stoked about a life where every choice you're making is by default. Come on. All right. Number 8, stop living in fear. All right. So, I want you to have the courage to step up and understand that you know what? You're going to have to get fearless. Like, you're going to have to understand that, fear is a gift, that it is there to serve you. It is there as a guide. It will never go away, whether you're doing something that is amazing that you want to do or whether it's something you're thinking about doing something amazing. The fact of the matter is fear is going to always be a part of that process. And you just got to understand that. And you got to stop living in fear. Fear paralyzes you. And sometimes the thought of doing the thing is more difficult than actually doing the thing. All right. And so I want you to have the courage to step up and say, you know what, I'm going to be afraid no matter what. You know what I mean? But it's so much more fun being afraid and moving in the direction of where you want to be than being afraid and thinking about the place that you thought you should be, but you were too afraid to go. All right. There's a quote that I've seen that said, that some people stare at the line all of their life, right? Because they're afraid. Like, they just look at the line and they never go for it. Don't let that be your story. What I'm telling you right now is stop living in fear, all right? Because fear, you're not going that way. You need to have the courage to step up. You got to understand, you're going to be afraid, all right? You're going to be afraid. Number nine, okay, is let go of what does not serve you, all right? And it takes courage to do that, right? Yeah, roar, right? Courage, right? Let go of what does not serve you. I'm going to say it again. Have the courage to step up and let go of what does not serve you right now. All right. I want you to think right now. I want you to think right now of a relationship that does not serve you. It's like it taxes you. It depletes you. It doesn't honor you. You need to let it go. All right. And you need to let it go. You need to let it go. All right. Maybe it's a situation that you've been holding on to. I want you to think right now. I want you to let it go. All right. I want you to be thinking about, how am I going to let this go? All right. It's taking up too much mental space, too much time, too much energy, too much creativity, and it's so much easier to let it go, but it's going to take courage. All right. It's going to take courage for you to do that. Right. What if it's a work relationship? If it's a work relationship, you got to let it go also. And it might mean that letting it go means that you're letting it go so that it doesn't reside inside of you, like in your headspace, right? You know what I mean? inside your headspace. So you're not gonna let them take up any room anymore. I'm gonna give you an example. I had a really difficult in-law situation. So if you guys have been following me, right? And the fact of the matter is, friends, yeah, exactly. Let them go. Like, who needs somebody that's gonna talk about you, right? Or talk to you about you? Let that go. You don't deserve that. I don't even want to hear it. Like, don't call my phone. Actually, I'm not listening. Okay. I'm just saying, like, you talking to me? You can't be talking to me. All right. You can't be talking to me. I had a really difficult situation, Kevin, with my mother-in-law. Okay. Woo. It was bad. Okay. And it was disrespectful. It was mean. It was horrible. I did not deserve it. And I had to find the courage. And I'm telling you guys that I was a chicken before I found my superwoman cape. I was a chicken. And I was a chicken because, and maybe you're a chicken too, like, because I knew it was disrespectful and I knew it wasn't right, but I was living in that should and that ought. Like, a good daughter-in-law ought to, you know what I mean? Like, make this work, or, I should be able to do this. I ought to be able to do this. And it was worse. It got worse and worse and worse, okay? Because I wasn't being honest. I wasn't being transparent that, like, this was tremendously hurtful to me. It just got worse. And it gets worse when you don't have the courage to say what needs to be said. So I did. So one day I decided, today's the day. You know what? I am going to say no more, no mas, right? And I said that, and I wasn't disrespectful like what I'm suggesting you do with your coworker. I wasn't disrespectful. I just said, you know what? I'm not dealing with it anymore. And I said, so here's the thing. You're not nice, and you're not nice to me, and I am not coming to your house anymore. And you can't come to my house either. Okay? But we will come see you. And the kids can see you, of course. And, of course, my husband was going to, see his mom. But I don't deserve this, all right? And but this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. When I come and visit, then I will come on Fridays, and then I will stay at the hotel, and they can all hang out together. And on Saturdays, you guys can hang out during the day, and we can book a play where we can't talk to one another, okay? And then we can go to dinner after that or before that. We got about 2 hours of sitting at dinner in a public space and interacting. I will not go to your house and be subject to, the darts and the razors and the insults. I'm not doing that. I'm not preparing that table. And I did it. All right. And I'm not answering any questions. Like, I'm not doing any follow-ups because I had done it for so long. It took courage to do it. It meant that I had to say, oh my goodness, I'm not going to worry what anybody else is thinking. I'm not going to, oh my goodness, because I know I'm a nice person, but when you make a tough decision like that, you're going to have sometimes, you got to deal with truth. You got to deal with people who don't know the full story, but I did. And it was the best decision that I made. And all I'm going to say to those of you, maybe there's something that you need to let go of. It was the best thing I could have ever done. It was a critical conversation. I think what happened, Kevin, you're so funny, right? No heart attacks, right? Kevin's like this. He's got his popcorn, right? And he's like, tell me. It basically stayed the same, Kevin, but it was the disrespect changed because the access changed, the disrespect changed. And that was my responsibility. And I didn't take ownership over that. And that's why I'm telling you guys that right now you got to let go of what doesn't serve your highest good. It's just not worth it, right? It's no sense in sowing into toxic relationships. I mean, I did my best. I tried my darndest, but it wasn't a relationship where I was valued and valuable, and it wasn't going to change. And as a result of that, I had to let it go. And it wasn't an easy decision. It was after 5 or 6 years of trying really hard. But I changed. And when I changed, everything else changed. And that's what I am telling you. I'm a spiritual person, Kevin. I'm not really a very religious person, but God is the center of my life. And I will tell you, it wasn't an easy decision, but it was what I needed to do. I mean, honestly, I think that what I did do was just the wrong thing. It sent the wrong message. Do you think it makes sense to start with a coach if you're not sure of your talent? Most of my clients are not sure of where they want to go with their skills and their talent, their gifts, because your gifts and your passion are different. Your passion is a thing that you might enjoy, and you might think you're good at it, but it's not really. Maybe like it's like I like triathlons, but I swim really slowly, so I'm not really. It's not really my gift. It's my passion, but not my gift. All right, but my gift is that I can take anyone and support them in building out a program, their content based on their education, their gifts, their background, their skills, and things like that. So a lot of my clients come to me and they don't know exactly what it's going to look like, and I support them in understanding what kind of business this could be. But you still try to swim, right? I still try to swim. I understand that it's my passion, Kevin, but it's not my gift. And when you're starting a business, I believe that if you align your gifts, all right, with that business, then you're going to have great success. All right. And that's the reality. I think so many people think that in order for you to do a business that, you need to feel like you do about your passion. I had a woman that came to my retreat, one of my friends actually, who has got started her business. She borrowed her investment. It was an initial $10,000. She got started in her business, grew that company in 18 months to $150 million. And the fact of the matter is, she was like, her business was never her passion. It was her gift. She was really great with contracts, really had an understanding of how to negotiate at a high level. And so she decided to lead with her gifts. I think this is where a lot of people get mixed up. Like, they think that their passions are their gifts, but if you lead with your gift, you're always going to be able to do exceptionally well. And separating the two and knowing the difference is really important. All right. And then, oh my goodness. And then number 10. All right. Number 10. And this is the last one. Having the courage to step up and stop faking that you are in when you're out. All right. So you know what? You got to have the courage to stop. You got to have the courage to step up and stop faking that you're all in when you're out. Okay. And what does that look like? What that looks like to me is when I'm talking to people who've got these amazing dreams and these great ideas and things that they want to create, and all they can tell me about is, you think I'm going to make money in the next month or 6 weeks or 3 months or 6 months? And I'm like, if you're all in, like, are you serious? Like, I don't even know if that was a question I ever asked, because I was so all into my dream that I was willing to do whatever I needed to do to get to my 6-figure and beyond goals. All right. And the fact of the matter is, it never factored in my mind, like, is that 6 weeks? Is that 3 months? You know what I mean? I was just all in to do what I needed to do, to change me, to invest in me, to learn what I needed to learn. And so many people, they are faking it. They are faking it. They're faking that they're all in, but they're out. And they're out the moment that any adversity happens. The customer says no, something doesn't work, the launch doesn't work, something that they thought was going to be just perfect. But entrepreneurship is not a perfect path. All right. It's for those of us who have the courage to step up, and those of us who say, Katie, bar the door. One of the reasons that you see great entrepreneurs a lot of times come as a result of, sometimes they have a challenge, and from that challenge you see sometimes people rise up. It's because they don't have a back door. And that's one of the things that I've learned, is that entrepreneurship is for those of you who are, hey there, for those of you who are don't have a back door. Like you like, I got to do this. You know what I mean? Like I think all the time, I always think about, for myself, like, if I did not do this, I don't even know what I would be doing. All right. If I didn't do what I'm doing right now, what would I be doing? All right. I do not know what I would be doing. I remember at my, my children's school, I think I told you guys this, no plan B, my children's school, that there was a position that was available, and someone came to me and they were like, Mia, we think you'd be really great for this director of diversity role. And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, okay. They were like, you should apply for it. And I said, I'll tell you what that's going to look like. What that's going to look like is that I apply for that job, and then you guys come to my office that next day after I get it. And then what's going to happen, then you guys are going to find me on the floor dead, like that next day, that first day at work. And everybody's going to say, what happened? And it's like, she took a job. All right. And the fact of the matter is, I'm not anti-job. I'm just saying for me that this is what I'm meant to do. And that I had decided is the key word, that this was what I was going to make work. There was no other option for me. This is it. All right. And like I said, my husband and I have been full-time entrepreneurs for over 2 decades. All we decided was that this was what we were going to do. We wanted to be free. We wanted to own our time. We wanted to raise our kids. We wanted to date in the middle of the week. And we decided that entrepreneurship was the best path for us. We never even entertained, let alone, I don't even have a resume. I never even thought about generating a resume for what? It just never came across my mind, because this was the only option for me, was to make it work. And I think that you got to have the courage to step up. If you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're making a decision to do it, you need to stop faking that you are in and you're out. All right. And that means that's those of you who are, I might have talked to a couple of you guys who you want a guarantee. You want me to tell you, if you're going to work with me, you know what I mean? Right. My husband is very passionate about our laundry business. That is his thing. We bought it as a real estate transaction years ago. I'm not really that active in that business today. It's a mid-sized commercial laundry. And I did a lot of the marketing in the earlier days in that business, and I just do my own thing. And my husband runs that business, and that's what he does. It's a clean business. Our first business, actually, which we still do, is we own, our first business was real estate. We started, Pat and I hired a real estate coach. Now, we weren't still sure how to do this, to be a real estate investors. We invested $25,000. This is over 20 years ago, guys. So this is a lot of money, to learn how to be real estate investors. And that was one of the greatest investments. There were no guarantees. We had to have the courage to step up. We had to invest in somebody that didn't say for sure we were going to be able to buy a property, sell a property, do what they said. But we needed to know what they knew in order for us to do what they did. And I'm so grateful that we did that. And as a result of that, we've been able to buy and sell multiple millions of dollars in real estate. Why? Because we were willing to step up, and we had the courage to do that. And I tell you that because none of it came with guarantee. And everything that I share with you guys, I always share rentals, right? But we have commercial also. But mostly we do rentals. Yep. We love doing row homes. That's mostly what we do. But we bought commercial properties and sold those also. All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. All right. And I hope you enjoyed this scope, right? I hope you enjoyed this scope today. I want to open the floor up right now. And I want to ask you, what was your big aha from today? Like, what did you learn? What did you take with you today that you're like, that was good, and I'm going to do something about it, because that's really why I'm here. Tell me, what was one thing, thank you so much, what was one thing that you're going to do with what you learned, all right? If you're interested in working with a kick butt coach, that's me. Hey, surrender to the process. Awesome. Check out my bio here on Periscope. There's a link where you can book a strategy session with me for 15 minutes, and I will coach you and give you some ideas around your gifts and your passions and how we could work together. If in fact you're looking for a coach, all right? If you're smart, you're sharp, you believe in self-investment, check out my bio here on Periscope. I think it's on my bio on Periscope. Let go of what does not serve me. Sell my value, not my time. You guys are getting all of this, right? Let go of what doesn't serve you. Sell your value, not your time. All right? You got to understand that. Okay? And oh, yes, right. Sell your value, right? I have clients all the time that they make money, and the fact that they're like, okay, Mia, help me make $20,000. I didn't help you just do that. I didn't help you do that. I didn't just help you do that. I helped you grow into the person that could ask for the money that you deserve. The $20,000 is just, it's just proof. The difference between your gifts and your passion. Awesome, right? It's really, really, really important. The fact of the matter is, you got to know the difference between your gifts and your passion. All right. Any other ahas? Anybody else have anything else to share, or any quick questions before I sign out? Stop living in fear. Sell your big rocks. Absolutely. All day, every day. It's easy to sell those $20, $100, $9.97 products, but If your goal is to hit 6 figures and beyond and get free, you got to sell those big rocks. You got to sell those things that are going to scare you. Have the courage to ask for what you want and will not accept, and what you will not accept in your personal life and in your business. That's absolutely true. It's so true. And I think that it's important to know it takes courage to take a stand for yourself and say, I deserve this. I will no longer tolerate this. You're welcome, right? I will no longer tolerate this, and enough of this, right? Enough of this. You got to be confident in yourself, right? Invest high level and work with the best. Absolutely, all day, every day. And if you invest at a low level and you don't work with the best, you get what you get. And don't get upset. And you got to understand that too, all right? But you got to have the courage to step up for yourself and give yourself what you truly need. I told you I'm on fire. See, Hillary, what happens when I get a little sleep? All right, when I get a little rest, if I get a little extra rest, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, all 10. That's right. If I get just a little bit of extra sleep, then really great things happen as a result of that. All right. Anything else before I close out? Any quick questions for me before I sign out? Thank you so much. Are there any questions for me? I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You're turning yourself into a big rock. You are already a big rock, mama. You are already a big rock. How cool is that? And that's what's so cool is that understanding, Yaya, that making money is flat easy. And it is. It's like right here. Making money is like, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. And that's the reality. That's why I love doing mindset scopes, because once people get that, you just start moving into it, right? And the funny thing is once a client starts to monetize in their business, they never go back. Like once somebody pays you, you know what I mean? Something that they never paid you for. Somebody pays you $5,000 and they never paid you $5,000 for a service. You will never sell that service you sold for $500 that you just sold for $5,000 for $500 again. So it's all mindset. Once you understand it's possible, you never go back. All right. That's why you have to invest with people who can see things sometimes that you cannot see. You got to flip the mindset. You got to Minister Tavis is in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. This was a great scope. And you're going to have to catch the replay because it was really good and it was way too much to repeat. Yeah, flip that mindset. You got to flip it, right? Hey there. Good to see you, right? I am so excited, right? It was an awesome scope. I'm so glad you guys got great value. I brought it. I told you I was going to bring my A game. I promised you. All right. Are there any final questions for me before I sign out? Are there any final questions for me? If you're just joining, please share on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Periscope, because we know already that other people are going to benefit. Any final questions? This is the last 30 seconds. Any final questions for me? I'm happy to answer anything. It can relate to what we talked about today or any question that you have in general. I'm happy to support you guys, and the floor is open. All right. Any quick questions? I'm going once. All right. So I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. My Facebook is Mia Redrick, the mom strategist. Mia Redrick, the mom strategist. So what you need to do, Nikki, is you need to go to my bio here on Periscope and sign up for a strategy session. If somebody could grab the link and post it here, that would be great. All right. There's a link where you can sign up for a strategy session with me. And so the question really isn't really around my fee. The question is really around what are your needs, right? So that I can support you in getting done whatever it is that you want to get done. And I'm happy to find some way to be able to support you and serve you. And I'd love to talk to you specifically about what your needs are. Okay. Okay. You got it. You got it. Did you get it? Can somebody grab that link from my bio? Hillary, can you grab it, copy and paste it, and then just put it right here on Periscope, and then you guys can screenshot it. All right. And it's so you can book a strategy session with me. All right. So, and you can always go to my website too at miaredrick.com. There's a contact form right there as well. All right. So if there are not any final questions for me, all right, then I'm going to sign off Going twice, all right? Going twice, all right? Going twice. I know it takes a minute if you type like I do. Any final questions? Any final questions, all right? Okay, all right. So I want to thank you for your time this evening. I appreciate you for joining me tonight. This was a great scope, it was a powerful scope, and I hope you do what you need to do to make the shifts to be able to have that courage to step up, right? We're counting on you this year. I'm counting on you this year, right? If this scope has supported you, then tell somebody, share it with somebody else. You know, use the hashtag the mom strategist, tweet it on Twitter, and share the love. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great and amazing night. I love you guys. Bye.